This is the WEN Quiet 6800W dual-fuel RV-ready, electric-start portable inverter generator, model DF680IX. Right away I have to say, when you first look at it, this generator stands out with a compact yet solid build, bright orange color, and a full panel of outlets and controls right at the front. It doesn't look bulky for its class, and the wheels, plus the telescoping pull handle, make it feel less intimidating to move around than you might expect from something weighing over 100 pounds. Key features, in my opinion, are what make the DF68IX worth checking out. It uses a 224cc engine and gives you the freedom to run on either gasoline or propane. I really like this because sometimes getting gasoline isn't so convenient, and having propane as a backup or even the main fuel opens up more options. You don't have to worry about just relying on one type of fuel, which especially matters during an outage, while camping, or if you have an RV off-grid. On gasoline, you get up to 6,800 surge watts and 5,100 running watts. With propane, it's slightly less, 6,000 surge watts and 4,500 running watts, but still enough to cover most household appliances, RV circuits, or tools. From my experience, setting up the generator was pretty straightforward, even though I had a few nerves at first since I'm not a generator pro. When the DF680IX arrived, it didn't come with oil in the engine. You'll have to add some 10W30 oil before you start it for the first time. There are two side access panels with tabs, making it easy to reach the oil fill and the battery connections. Honestly, this part took me about 10 minutes. You just twist and pop the covers off, fill up the oil, and for the battery, you connect the leads together by hand. No special tools needed. The propane hookup was really simple too. It comes with a hose and a tool-free quick connector, kind of like the air hose quick connects if you've ever used those. Another thing I'm a fan of is the electric start. There's a toggle switch right on the control panel. No more yanking on a pull cord unless the battery is dead. Even then, there's a recoil starter as a backup, which is good for peace of mind. It's really easy to use and gets the generator running in about 2 seconds. The instructions were clear, and as someone who doesn't run a generator every week, I appreciated that. Let's talk about the noise. WEN markets this as a quiet generator, and, in my experience, it lives up to that claim. The official specs say about 64 decibels at a quarter load. I tried it outside my garage, and it was noticeably quieter than my neighbor's regular generator. You could have a conversation nearby without shouting. If you're running this while camping, or even in a residential neighborhood during an outage, you probably aren't going to annoy everyone with that constant, loud drone you get from cheaper units. Another key feature I've really come to appreciate is the pure sine wave inverter technology. Basically, this means the electricity coming out is clean with very little fluctuation. They list less than 1.2% total harmonic distortion at full load. For someone like me who wants to keep laptops, smart TVs, and other sensitive electronics running during a blackout, that's important. Old, non-inverter generators can fry your devices over time, but the DF680IX is safe for modern electronics. The interface is pretty user-friendly. There's a voltage selector, so you can switch between 120 volts and 240 volts, which is perfect if you need low-power level 2 charging for a battery or hybrid electric vehicle, or just want maximum flexibility with home appliances or an RV. The front panel has all the regular plug types most of us need. Two 3-prong 120 volts outlets, a 240 volt transfer switch ready outlet, a dedicated RV outlet, a 12-volt DC outlet, and even USB ports for charging phones or tablets. I noticed WEN put some real thought into safety features with this one. It includes a CO Watchdog shutdown sensor. What that means is, if dangerous carbon monoxide levels are detected, the generator automatically shuts off. I didn't try to test that scenario, thankfully, but it does bring peace of mind, especially for anyone running a generator close to home or somewhere enclosed like a garage or RV shed. It also features a fuel shutoff function, which lets the generator use up the remaining fuel in the carburetor before turning off. The benefit here is you avoid old fuel sitting and clogging the internal parts, reducing headaches with maintenance down the line. On the topic of maintenance, I'll be honest, this generator does need regular checking up if you want it to last. I did have to add a little extra oil after the first few hours, so keep some 10W30 on hand. I don't consider this a downside, really. It's standard with most generators, but if you're expecting zero maintenance, that's not realistic. You do have to check oil, keep fuel fresh, especially if you're using gas, and make sure connections stay clean. When it comes to moving the DF680IX, it is on the heavier side at nearly 108 pounds. The wheels and telescoping handle make a difference, though. Not quite suitcase easy, but manageable for rolling over grass or pavement. If you're loading it into a truck bed or an RV compartment, you'll probably want help, but you're not wrestling with dead weight thanks to the decent balance and handles. About runtime, I was able to get just over 6 hours at moderate load on a full tank of gasoline, which matches WEN's official spec. On propane, using a 20-pound tank, you can expect a bit more, closer to 9 hours at half load. Eco mode helps reduce fuel use. It automatically adjusts the engine speed when the load changes. I found this practical when running only lights and a fridge, then plugging in heavier appliances. The generator responded smoothly without burning extra fuel. One clever feature you might not need right away, but might love later, is generator linking. If you ever decide you need more power, you can connect two of these WEN generators using a parallel connection kit. I haven't tried that yet, but knowing the option is there adds future-proofing. From my experience, I think the WEN is perfect for homeowners who want backup power that's safe for electronics, RV owners looking for reliable power off-grid, or anyone who wants a flexible, quieter generator. They don't have to fight with every time there's a storm or an outage. I was a little nervous before my first use, especially opening up the side panels and connecting the battery, but the design and instructions made it less scary. Even if you're new to generators, the learning curve isn't steep. The only real drawback for me is the weight. At nearly 110 pounds, you want to plan where you're going to keep it and set it up so you're not hauling it around too much. If you expect to move it often by yourself, just know it's not as light as some smaller units. The fuel tank could also be a bit larger for those needing all-night or all-day power with no refills, but 6 to 9 hours per fill is still pretty solid compared to other units in this class. In conclusion, the WEN WEN has impressed me for its flexibility, convenience, and combination of features that feel right for both beginners and those with more experience. The dual fuel capability is a real plus for uncertain situations. The pure sine wave and co-safety features mean extra peace of mind, and the quiet operation made it feel possible to run in more situations than just emergencies. If someone asked me if I'd recommend this, I'd say yes, especially if you want something versatile that's easy to use and safe for sensitive equipment. If you aren't worried about moving a heavier generator or are okay spending a few minutes on setup and basic maintenance, I think the WEN will surprise you with how useful it becomes. Check the comments of this video for a link to see the current pricing of the WEN.